The DJI Pocket 4 is the new kid in the block, but how does it compare to the battle-tested DJI Pocket 3? And I'm talking about the things that really matter, like image quality, stabilization, low light, latitude, things that theoretically should be a lot better than the Pocket 3. We're gonna start with the stabilization, okay? And as you can clearly see, I mean, there is nothing wrong there. The Pocket 3 is perfect. And you're gonna see jump cuts here so that you can perceive immediately the difference between one and the other. This is now the Pocket 4. And I don't really see much of a difference between one and the other, to be honest with you. The stabilization on the Pocket 3 was excellent, so I imagine the Pocket 4 will be the same, if not better, but I don't really see any major improvements. I can see right away improvements on the image quality, on the latitude. And remember that these samples that I'm running now are without any grading. This is raw footage from the cameras, okay? Exactly the same settings. And you get the bobbing effect, that's expected when you walk, but the stabilization both are really, really good. In that regard, I don't think there is a massive difference when it comes to one and the other. One thing that you can already start to see is on the latitude of these cameras, and you can clearly see this on the clouds and the brightness on the darks. Look how much more information there is in the clouds, but we're going to touch on the latitude a little later. I don't think you can say that one is exponentially better or any better than the other one. I think in terms of stabilization, they're pretty much the same. And remember that this is raw footage. I haven't graded anything. Both cameras have exactly the same settings. There is always something that you can recover from the highlights as long as they don't clip, because if they clip, that's it, that's pure white, there is no information there. And this is where you can see the difference here. It's not what I would call, you know, life-changing, but it's noticeable, especially on the highlights. And if you look at the clouds, you can clearly see the difference, especially on the brights. You can clearly see, look at the clouds, look, you see how much more information is there. But this one definitely is. Look, this is a Pocket 3. Look at how pure white those clouds are. And this is now the Pocket 4. And you can clearly see that there is more information there. I mean, obviously there are areas that is still pure white, but there is more information in this area. You can clearly see on the auto settings, you go from that. Look how much, there's almost no information there. And there you can see that there is more information on the clouds. Basically, all of this area is pure white. There is nothing there. All of this except a little bit there in the middle. Whereas here, you can clearly see these are clouds, and obviously this section is pure white because it's overexposed, but there is a lot more information here and everywhere. There is definitely better in that regard. So when it comes to highlights, you can clearly see that those two additional stops of latitude on the Pocket 4 means that the highlights have more information. I wouldn't say that they have much more information. It's not something that is gonna make your audience go, wow, you know, what a huge difference. And as long as you're exposed correctly, I think the Pocket 3 will be very similar to the Pocket 4. But when it comes to the raw footage, there is clearly a difference there. The next one that we're going to have a look at is the slow motion, because the Pocket 3 can go up to 240 frames per second at 1080p, whereas the Pocket 4 can do 240 frames per second at 4K. Now, the difference should be pretty obvious when it comes to sharpness. Now, obviously, the Pocket 4 has a newer, better sensor, so you should also be able to see better latitude, especially on the brights. So let's play that back and see what the difference is. So this is Pocket 3 footage and it looks great at 1080p, but this is Pocket 4 footage and you can clearly see how much sharper it is. This is very noticeable. This is Pocket 3 footage and it looks good, but the Pocket 4 definitely looks sharper. And I want you to pay attention to this part of the image when it comes to flickering and the lights. Look how much flicker is there, okay? That's noticeable. You cannot get rid of that. The Pocket 4 is perfect. There is no banding, there is no flickering, because you can apply effects and possibly reduce the effect or possibly even get rid of it altogether, but sometimes you won't be able. This is Pocket 3 upscaled at 4K and then the Pocket 4. And I want to know if you can see the difference right away. Can you tell in the car? Look, if you look at this area, okay, where the brights are, okay, and there, do you see that? Do you see that flickering, that banding there? On the Pocket 4, it's not. This is, in my opinion, a very strong point to the Pocket 4, because the slow motion that you get on the Pocket 4 is flawless. Really, really good. This is what I would call a big, noticeable difference. And if you own a Pocket 3 or plan to upgrade or plan to buy a Pocket 4 and want to get absolute best out of these cameras, I have a fully dedicated course with over 60 lessons. That will be 70 plus lessons when I do the module for the Pocket 4, and an additional 10 or 15 more lessons when the Pocket 4P comes out, where I go through every aspect to get the absolute best out of these cameras. Not just going through the menus and what this button does, but we go through lighting, framing, composition, slow motion, indoor lighting, outdoor lighting, anything and everything that you could possibly need to get absolutely amazing looking footage out of these cameras. And if that's something that is interesting to you, I'll leave a link in the video description below. I think you would love it. The next one that we're gonna do is the zooming range, because this is something that obviously the Pocket 4 has this lovely zooming button. So they've made a big point about it. They've actually given it a button within the body itself. So how does it compare to the Pocket 3? This is full wide, this is 1.5, and this is 2 times. And obviously, in full bright conditions, the 2 times zoom on the Pocket 3 looks really good, especially when you don't have a lot of patterns and a lot of things on camera. So for instance, here you have a tower and some clouds. It looks great. Things start to break up a little later when I show you all the samples. But now we move on to the Pocket 4. Full wide looks great. 1.5 looks great. The ×2 looks very, very good. If you compare this to the one from the Pocket 3, you can see that the Pocket 3 it's got some sharpening. When you go to the Pocket 4, it's a lot more gentle. It's sharp, but it's a lot more gentle. And that's probably to do with the bigger and better sensor. Okay, so in that regard, you can tell the difference. Whether it's that much of a difference, where it's noticeable, obviously you can desaturate, you can reduce the contrast of this image. As you can clearly see here, look, we can go into the color. We can go into like now 0.9, then at the mids 5%. This looks closer now to this than it did before. So that's okay. Now let's go back to another example. So this is full wide on the Pocket 3, full wide on the Pocket 4. This is 1.5 zoom on the Pocket 3, 1.5 zoom on the Pocket 4. They look similar. You can tell a little bit of noise. You can see the windows, you can see the lines on the windows. This is the Pocket 3, and on the Pocket 4 you can see them neater. Okay, so that's a little bit better. This is where things start to be very, very obvious. Okay, when you compare patterns, obviously these are brick walls, and this is where the Pocket 3 2 times starts to break up because it looks terrible. Look at all of that noise. And there is noise on the Pocket 4 as well, but it's a lot more gentle. Another one, this is Pocket 3, this is Pocket 4. You can already see that the lines are sharper. This is 1.5 on the Pocket 3, 1.5 on the Pocket 4. And you can clearly see the difference in the boat, but also in the buildings in the background. This starts to look a bit digitally sharpened. Everything kind of has this slight digital sharpening effect, whereas here it looks a lot more natural. And obviously now we have ×2, which again on the Pocket 3 looks passable. I mean, looks okay, but the Pocket 4 does look better. And another thing that looks better on the Pocket 4 is the trees. They look at this, they look digitally sharpened compared to this. They look more natural. This is time and a half, and this is time and a half. You can definitely see the difference already. You can see the sharpening that is going on in the buildings compared to the Pocket 4 that is a lot more neater and a lot more natural and a lot more obvious now on the 2x zoom. That's rubbish, and this is not that great, but you can definitely see that there is a lot less noise. And this is a wide indoors on both the Pocket 3 and the Pocket 4. You can't tell the difference. On the time and a half, very similar there, but on the 2x, this is Pocket 3 and this is Pocket 4. You can clearly see that there is a lot less noise in the shadows on the Pocket 4 than on the Pocket 3. I mean, I wouldn't call it life-changing, and this is with noise reduction applied to both of them, which basically makes them look very similar. Whether you use the 2x zoom on the Pocket 3 or on the Pocket 4 is rubbish, okay? Neither one is great. The Pocket 4 has a newer sensor, better sensor, larger sensor, so there has to be some improvement. Whether that is enough for you, that's something that only you can decide. Personally, I mean, it is better. The Pocket 4 is better than the Pocket 3. But would I upgrade from the Pocket 3 to the Pocket 4? It depends. So far, if you use a lot of the slow motion, it's a no-brainer. The Pocket 4 is much better. Everything else are small incremental improvements, but nothing that would make me go, wow, that's absolutely amazing. The next one that we're going to see is the transition going from a bright to a low light situation. Okay, so this one is the Pocket 3 and I expect it to do really well. It should be a very smooth transition going from outdoors to indoors, from a bright area to a low light, and as you can clearly see, very smooth. This is now the Pocket 4 side by side, and I expect the transition to be very smooth, similar than the Pocket 3. And as you can clearly see, very nice. You really can't tell the difference. But there you go. I mean, the Pocket 3 is just as good as the Pocket 4. And this is again going from low light to a bright outdoors. The transition is very smooth. I mean, you can't really tell the difference between the Pocket 3 and the Pocket 4. This is now the Pocket 4. It's gonna look exactly the same as the Pocket 3. The transition is very smooth. There is no difference whatsoever in that regard. And obviously you need to remember that most of the footage that you're gonna be filming on the Pocket 3 or Pocket 4 is gonna be seen on a computer, on an iPad. Maybe if you watch it on a 50, 60-inch TV, you might tell the difference. But most people are not going to be able to tell the difference. They're going to be watching on a smartphone, on an iPad, they can't tell the difference. And nobody's going to go pixel peeping your footage and zoom in 400% to see if the image quality is breaking up or not. Nobody cares. Nobody really and truly cares about any of this. So if it looks good, it looks good, and that's just the way it is. Now, the next thing that we're going to be paying attention is low light, because I want to show you situations where you are most likely going to be using these cameras. I don't want to create situations just to highlight certain aspects of a camera that most people are never going to be filming with this camera. So this is a shopping mall. It's very dark shopping mall. It has very nice creative lighting, but it looks really nice. And again, the Pocket 3 looks fantastic. And okay, you could argue now that the bright areas there are overexposed, but really and truly nobody's ever going to judge your image whether there is a little bit of overexposed there, because it's a given. As a whole, the image looks really good. And the next one is the Pocket 4, and it looks very, very good, very similar. You can see a little bit of noise in the darks, nothing that you're gonna fix with denoise. Okay, it's a little bit better exposed on the highlights. You can definitely see more information than the Pocket 3. And again, on low light, Pocket 3. This is a very dark shopping mall, okay, very dark, and it looks very good. The Pocket 4 probably look a little bit better. There is a little bit more information in the highlights. It is a bit darker as a whole. The images on the screens look a little bit better, but it's not something that you would go, wow, there was so much more information in the Pocket 4 than there was in the Pocket 3. When it comes to low light, and where the Pocket 4 I think stands out over the Pocket 3 is with the LED that you get with the Pocket 4. That really and truly helps a lot if you do any kind of vlogging in low light. And I really want to stress this. That little light is not going to brighten up a scene like a shopping mall. It's not gonna make any difference whatsoever. That light is only if you do any vlogging. And if you do in low light, you are going to tell the difference because it's enough to brighten up. It really is. I was well surprised with this, but it's just for vlogging. We are talking about very small differences. We're not talking about exponential improvements. We're talking about marginal improvements, and the proof is in the pudding. I've just shown it to you. And by all means, if you want to have a look at this footage yourself, I'll leave a link in the video description where you can download all of this footage and test it yourself, because the clips are a lot longer than what you've seen in this video, because otherwise this video would be like 30 or 40 minutes and it would be unmanageable. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next one.